Pauly Shore, welcome back to Reno.
Thank you. It's good to be back to Reno.
I think it's been a little while, but you've got a big history here, huh?
I do. I've saw some skid marks on the sidewalks.
So, listen, how fat are you these days? My wife tells me that the radio adds like 100 pounds to my voice.
How fat am I, or how fat are you?
No, how fat are you?
Oh, I'm probably 5 to 10 pounds overweight.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close. Maybe 15 or 20.
So it is what it is.
It's funny. I was watching your random rants on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
In the most recent episode, you start the episode with, how fat am I?
Yeah. So, yeah. It feels, but no, it's just that when you get older, it's just that extra 5 or 10 pounds.
Yeah.
You just can't get rid of it.
The metabolism for me stopped at like 35.
Yeah,
right?
well, the problem is that you can, I can go on a diet for like 2 weeks and actually lose probably 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But then once you have that first sandwich, it's boom, it's back. You know what I mean? So I think, honestly, the key to it is just you got to know what's bad for you and just lessen it. I mean, no ice cream, no bread, none of that, stuff that pasta. Mm-hmm. You can have it, but just very lessen it.
I've kind of fluctuated between yoga and hardcore workout regimens, and that lasts for about, I can do 2 to 3 months. Yeah. And then I go to, I'm just going to be fat and happy.
It's weird, yeah.
Hey, so what do you remember most about Sam Kinnison?
His bad breath. Terrible breath. No, he was one of those guys that, he would party so hard that, and then he would basically he'd be like a party goalie, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like he would try to leave, and then he would be like, "Where are you going? We just got here. The party just started." You know what I mean?
Now, did you learn anything from Sam, or was it just kind of a friendly hangout relationship like you would with any other friend? Did he mentor you at all?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, he was so influential to me. It's kind of like, is that Michael Jordan commercial? Where the kid kind of looks up to Michael Jordan, and it was like that. He came into my life when I just started doing stand-up. So, and he was just one of the hottest guys. So I was just like at the Comedy Store, I'd just follow him around. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he would be like, "Who's this kid following me around everywhere I went?" Yeah. And I just thought he was so funny. His stand-up was so funny. And as far as him influencing me, I mean, he did. I mean, if you look how I dressed, how I acted, and back then, and it was just, he was, I don't know, he was, he was sexy even though he wasn't attractive. Right. You know what I mean?
He had that confidence about him, right?
Yeah. And he hit the nerve, he hit the comedic nerve at the time, and it worked. But I had toured with him and opened for him for a long time.
You talk about stand-up. Now, your mom was kind of known in the comedy world as a bit of a ball buster. Was it tough to get positive attention from your folks growing up, or did it come pretty easy for you?
I think it's kind of like if you look at, you're watching the playoffs now, and I think, what's his name? God, I'm really bad with names. He's on Houston, and he's the son of the coach from the Clippers. Okay. Rivers. Mm-hmm. Rivers. Doc Rivers' son. Yeah. And he's a basketball player. So, when you become, it's just a normal thing. It's like when your parents are famous and you're trying to get into the business, it's definitely an extra. It's like, it's easy because you get your foot in the door, but it's harder because everyone is like, "Oh, that person, he's just on the basketball team because that's Doc Rivers' son."
So you have
to work extra harder. Yeah.
You always had to try harder.
And it's still that way. I mean, even though I'm like famous and I'm known and I have an audience, even when I perform at the Comedy Store now, I still feel like, "Oh, that's Mitzi's son." Right. You know what I mean? It's just something that'll never go away.
By the way, it's Pauly Shore tonight over at Cargo
AKA
downtown.
the Weaze Bros.
Right, brother Weaze.
I'm lucky you're liking the random rants. Did you see them? They're great. I fun.
dig it. I have my own YouTube channel.
Perfect.
We should do a collab one of these days.
Do a collab rant.
Totally. You worked at MTV as a VJ back in '89. What was your favorite rock band of that era, or is it possible just to pick one? What left?
Oh, there was so much. I mean, we could go to Black Crowes. I was a huge fan of the Black Crowes. Okay. Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, and then the metal world. Obviously Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Poison, Warrant.
Have you seen the new Motley Crue Netflix show?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. You didn't like it?
I actually thought it was pretty good. hate like, you know, School of Rock and some of the other movies that have been, you know, roughly based on being a rock star, because it's just cheesy. It's BS. It doesn't really exist like that.
Yeah.
But I thought the Crew movie was pretty good.
Yeah, I think also, I'm sure those guys helped produce it, so they probably had a say in, like, right?
Oh yeah,
a say in what was going on. So,
looking back at your career, what have you enjoyed the most? You've done movies, you've done TV, stand-up. What do you know, personally speaking, what do you get the most joy out of doing?
Man, it's crazy. It's like, I don't know, I just finished a film called Guest House, and it was refreshing, where I wasn't directing, I wasn't producing, I was just starring in it. And for me, that was like, I felt like freedom, you know, because I had starred in so many movies. And I love starring in movies because it's like you're carrying the whole thing, and you're kind of part of the story arc and all that stuff. So I like doing that. So I don't know. I miss acting, so I really enjoyed doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I love my stand-up too. Stand-up is one of those things that, like, even if I had multi-million dollars all over and I didn't have to work, I would still do it.
Why is that?
Because it's inside my soul. You know, it's kind of like something I have to do, you know what I mean?
You like the instant gratification of that?
Yeah. And then, you know, I have a really nice following of people that have followed me in the last, you know, 20, 25 years or whatever, that appreciate what I've done. And I come out and I feel that appreciation. So there's that too. And that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So let's get a little inside baseball. There's lots of different comedians who have different ways of how they perform and go into a show. Some guys, you know, come with ideas, it's scripted out. Other people start down a path and then kind of riff on the audience. Where do you get that motivation?
I look at it as this, if you ever watch like old surf movies where the guy's dropping in a pipeline, you know, there's like the surfer and there's like this big wave coming. I look at it like that. Like, he doesn't know where he's going, but he knows that the wave is going to take him wherever he needs to go. And because he's a professional, he's able to come out the other end.
Right.
So each crowd is different to me. I let the crowd tell me where to go, so I just flow with them, yeah.
That's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
So again, looking back at your career, biggest professional or personal regret at this point in your life?
We'll be here forever.
Just pick one.
No, I think, you know, when I was younger, you know, in my MTV, Encino Man, Son-in-Law, like those days, like, it was hard for me to kind of look at me from afar because I was so caught up in, you know, the party and, you know, the working and the stand-up. And it was hard for me to kind of look at my career as kind of, you know, as an adult, because I was in my 20s. So I think a lot of my choices that I made when I was younger, I did it with my heart as opposed with my head.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that messed me up, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I had a good thing going, and then, you know, I fired a lot of people around me for no other reason other than the fact is that, you know, the stuff that they were bringing me wasn't stuff that I liked.
Right.
So I just said, hey, you know what, I'm going to start over. And then that wasn't the right thing to do because these guys were kind of with me from the beginning. And I just needed a break. It was kind of like I needed a break of everything. It was so big, you know what I mean? And I was turning 30, and I was like, you know, I'm going from a boy to a man, and I had never been alone, you know, and you know, so, but it wasn't like a drug thing. I never did. It wasn't like I was, you know, whacked out on drugs where I, you know, I was never that guy. It was mostly just, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
No wife, no kids.
No wife, no kid, yeah.
Laundry list of smoking hot girlfriends. What's the secret? I mean,
I don't know.
Is that a regret?
I mean, honestly, I think for me, I think I'm very approachable, and I'm very I'm a nice person. I don't feel like I'm, you know, I don't have any hidden agendas really.
Right.
You know, I'm kind of like, you know, I was telling Justin, I was thinking about going on because I'm 51 now. So it's like, you know, I do want to have a kid. You have kids?
Yeah, I've got 4 kids and 6 grandkids.
That's amazing. So that must be awesome, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one part. Yeah, that's the one part of my life that I feel that I'm missing, and I think that's the one part of my life that I feel like I should start taking more serious. And my last relationship I had for a while was on and off for a while, and now it's really officially off.
Right.
And now I feel better. You know what I mean? Because when you're teetering with someone for so long, you're kind of like that. And now I feel like I really closed the door, and now I feel like I'm really going to be open up to a new relationship. And I was actually thinking about going on eHarmony.com.
And see who's going to be hanging out here in Reno tonight.
No, I'm talking about really finding someone, because just to check it out. I've never done that, because like Bumble and Tinder and all those other apps are like kind of like floozy, but if you go on eHarmony, a friend of mine told me like, oh, you're taking more serious.
Right.
But I'm really looking for like my Sharon Osbourne. You know what I mean? Someone because like
someone who can kind of keep your ass in line.
Keep me in line. I'm looking for a Sharon. Someone who knows they're married or with a crazy person, because I'm definitely crazy.
At least someone to clean up your damn house. Dude.
I know.
I mean,
I just text my housekeeper. She's got to come back.
I've seen the video. It's just a mess. Pauly Shore again tonight over at Cargo. Man, great to finally meet you.
Thanks.
I spent my teenage years watching you on TV. And,
cool.
We're not that far apart in age.
Cool.
Looking forward to a great show tonight.
And then also everybody check out my new video podcast called Random Rants. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere, and I'm pretty excited about it. And then also I have a new movie called Guest House coming up this year or next year.
Dynamite. Congratulations, Pauly. Good to see you, man.
Dudes.